public speaking. So in 7th grade, I had a class, it was an acting class, where I had to take a 5-minute skit in front of the class 2 times a semester. I was mortified both times. And I know what you guys are thinking, and I tried getting drunk both times. My tolerance was way better back then. It was more like taking a vitamin than anything else. So when my friend asked me to do stand-up for his party, my first thought was to get some moral support. And I went around talking to people, and the first response I got was, "But you're not funny." My dad's never been a very supporting character. So after a few more conversations like that, I got a bit discouraged. And I had one friend that told me that she had a dream where I was doing my stand-up in front of a room full of my friends, and nobody found it funny except for her. But she found it hilarious. So my first thought was, okay, we got one. Then the more reasonable side of me was like, okay, it was a dream, that's at most half a dream. But who doesn't hate working with fractions? We'll call that one. So I'm going to tell you guys a few stories of things that happened to me recently, and that'll be it. Anybody that knows me knows that I have a bit of an inherent distrust of technology. And the more I think about it, the more reasonable it becomes. About a year ago, I noticed a peculiar thing about my email. I was applying for jobs and I wasn't getting a response. And I knew it wasn't my resume because I lied thoroughly. It wasn't, and none of it was true, but it was all very impressive. So I knew that couldn't have been it. And then I randomly checked my spam folder for an email that I should have gotten, and I realized that my email had gotten to know me over the past few years. And it had started sorting my emails for me. So all of the important stuff, like sales at retail stores, and my Facebook notifications, all of that went straight to my inbox. All of the boring shit, like bills, job interviews, and the fact that I was currently being sued by Half.com because I didn't return their book for 18 months, all of that went straight to spam. So I missed 3 job interviews in that time period, but it was all worth it because I knew every single time Victoria's Secret had a sale. Don't ask me why Victoria's Secret has my email. I'm not going to talk about that. But the reason I bring it up was because it happened to me again recently. And the difference was that instead of bills, it was sending a Netflix account bill straight to my email, straight to my spam, I mean. And I say a Netflix account because it wasn't my Netflix account. I checked my online account and I realized they didn't have my card, so there was no way they could charge me. And I started realizing that the only way that could happen is if somebody else had my info and was using my Netflix. And I thought about canceling it, and then I realized Friends just came out on Netflix. I'll give them a month. Happy holidays, identity thief. The last story I'll tell you guys is something that happened to me while I was back home. And I'm not proud to say it, but I got a pedicure. Thank you. We got one. It wasn't one of those like mani pedicures where you get happy faces on your nails and all that. Not that kind of thing. But I'm a man. I can do things that I think my body needs, and also my mom made me do it. I think that she forgot my gender for a bit and thought it would be a good bonding experience. But at the same time, what happened was, I don't know, for the guys that haven't had it in here, it's a very self-conscious experience. People are just staring at your feet for a long time. And for me, it was a bit more than that because this woman was just staring at my heel for like a good 30 seconds, and she seemed very confused. And I was wondering why. What the fuck is she looking at? And I realized that what happened was about 2 months ago, I was walking around my apartment, which was never clean, by the way. I live with 4 guys. And I stepped on a pebble. And I guess I was too lazy to like brush it off. Because over the next few weeks, it kind of just grew into my foot and became a part of it. Which I thought was really cool, honestly. I thought that was the best example of adaptation I've ever seen in my life. Because it's like just layers of skin just went over and over. And I realized that that's what she was staring at. So she took her knife and she went to work and she got it out. And I realized I'd never have an opportunity like that again. So I looked at her and I said, "Can I actually have that back? That's very important to me." My mom was mortified. Needless to say, she will never make me do shit like that again. Thank you guys.
All right.